Hello, my name is Janine Turner, and I'm the founder of Constituting America. Welcome to our annual academic study, because history holds the key to the future, or as Shakespeare says, what is past is prologue. The title of this year's study is The Genius of America, a journey into our republic, a study on Alexis De Tocqueville's Democracy in America. Although seemingly a contradictory stance, de Tocqueville's advocacy for their role in directing foreign affairs was not incompatible with his Republican predilection. Joseph Ledford. The information on which this essay is based is in Democracy in America, written by de Tocqueville, and the chapters Government by Democracy in America, Volume 1, Part 2, Chapter 5, Subchapters 15, pages 217 to 220. This essay is entitled The Manner in Which American Democracy Conducts Foreign Affairs, written by Joseph Ledford. Governing the external affairs of a state involves a particular set of skills. Foreign policy requires the combined use of patience, prudence, secrecy, and long-term strategic thinking. It entails grave risks and difficult trade-offs. Decision makers who should be free of the passions that grip the people must make cold-blooded calculations in the national interest. Such is the view of de Tocqueville. In contrast to the, quote, good sense, end quote, of democracy guiding domestic affairs, de Tocqueville observes that foreign affairs demand these aristocratic attributes. Certain qualities of democracy stop at the water's edge. As de Tocqueville explains, American elites of the early republic possessed the leadership qualities necessary to ensure that democracy flourished at home while America advanced its interest abroad. Although seemingly a contradictory stance, de Tocqueville's advocacy for their role in directing foreign affairs was not incompatible with his Republican predilection. Rather, as he contends, aristocrats and commoners alike had a shared interest in the prosperity and security of the United States. And it was none other than George Washington and Thomas Jefferson whom de Tocqueville saw as the founding fathers of American diplomacy. They charted the course for America's engagement with the world. Washington, the American Cincinnatus, impressed de Tocqueville above all with his, quote, inflexible character, end quote. De Tocqueville, who abhorred the French Revolution, admired how Washington's adroit statecraft prevented a Franco-American alliance during the French Revolutionary Wars. In doing so, Washington had incurred the steep cost of bitter partisan politics over his stance of neutrality. Washington braved this domestic upheaval through the Gannett Affair and especially during the implementation of the Jay Treaty with Great Britain. Despite these immediate repercussions, however, Washington's approach to foreign affairs permitted the establishment of the nation in the long run. America eventually secured itself from the meddling of European powers, although it was hard won through the Quasi-War and the War of 1812. On September 19, 1796, George Washington's farewell address appeared in Claypool's American Daily Advertiser, an eloquent political testament that resonated with de Tocqueville nearly 4 decades later. First drafted by James Madison in 1792 and then shaped by Alexander Hamilton in 1796. Washington's farewell address makes the classic case for unity, neutrality, and reciprocity, all of which were needed to transform America into a great power. In Democracy in America, de Tocqueville elects to include an extract from Washington's farewell address. It highlights the first president's timeless principles for conducting foreign policy. In the passage, Washington prevails upon Americans to seek free trade, abide by treaties, and avoid permanent alliances to keep Americans from involving themselves in European wars. Washington aimed for peace and union, not war and disunion. This wisdom transcended political divides. Avoiding messy entanglements with European powers proved to be a bipartisan effort among American statesmen. Despite Jefferson's fierce disagreements with Hamilton, De Tocqueville identifies Jefferson as a kindred spirit of Washington. Once an ardent political foe, the Democrat-Republican shared the Federalist vision for American foreign policy when he ascended to the presidency. To demonstrate the continuity, de Tocqueville cites a maxim from Jefferson. It reflects the third president's general position on how America should manage its relationships with other countries. Quote, that Americans ought never to demand privileges from foreign nations in order not to be obliged to accord them themselves. End quote. De Tocqueville quotes from Jefferson. In a footnote, de Tocqueville acknowledges that he cannot provide a source for Jefferson's words. Nevertheless, this sage line captures the sentiment of Jefferson's precept from his first inaugural address, in which he famously declared, quote, peace, commerce, and honest friendship with all nations, entangling alliances with none, end quote. Quote, we are all Republicans. We are all Federalists, end quote. Jefferson also proclaimed at his first inauguration. Indeed, de Tocqueville understood the conduct of American foreign affairs this way. For de Tocqueville, as well as Washington and Jefferson, America was geopolitically exceptional. Given that the United States was located in the New World, the struggles of the Old World did not concern Americans. Without being mired in European power struggles, Americans could continue to grow their nation, develop their democracy, and thrive. One day, though, America would become powerful enough to pursue more ambitious external affairs. This essay was written by Joseph A. Ledford. Joseph A. Ledford is a Hoover Fellow at the Hoover Institute at Stanford University.